What is up YouTube? And today we have another Anchor Panic video, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some tips and tricks to help your account progression that I honestly wish I knew when I first started playing the game. Now basically this game is a free-to-play gacha waifu collector that has like auto battling. It's super fun, recommend testing it out. I'm not sponsored or anything, I'm just kind of playing this because I have nothing else to do and I've been having a great time on this game. Now, for the first tip that I'm going to tell you guys, basically what you want to do is, I know a lot of people look at tier lists when they start, looking at the gachas they want to play and start re-rolling, but you have to realize that in this game, there's a lot of good characters, and you want to build characters that you have early game, even if they aren't top tier. For example, let's say I'm using Alicia as my main DPS, the main character, and then I wanted to actually upgrade her to a different DPS that you actually end up pulling, such as, Karanissa, right, who's a really powerful DPS. Then what you can do is invest into her up to a certain point, which, like I said, I'll talk about later. And then you can actually reset her for only 50 crystals, which is a very low amount, and you get all of your mats back. So it's a really good way to, get back the materials that you spend on a character that's kind of temporary, and the cost on it is very low, and it doesn't even scale up. It's always at 50 crystals. So it's a way to actually reset your characters. The second thing I want to talk about is the Karanissa Banner. This is the best DPS in the game right now. So if you're not going to re-roll for her, which honestly it is a good idea if you want the god tier account, but you can still get her by playing naturally. I actually pitied on her banner twice as free to play already, so it's definitely doable. Even though the rates in this game, are kind of weird with like 20%, 60%, 100%, which, yeah, it's kind of sus, not gonna lie. What you can actually do is get her pretty easily by being able to summon her, because they give you a ton of summons. Just from like the check-in events, from the beta events as well. Actually, it's not even here, but the 7-day event does give you summons here. On day 6, you get the tickets for that one. And then also in the welfare tab, there's all of these like tutorial stages, which give you a ton of crystals and summons. And for the public beta benefits, basically for the launch of the game, you'll get 40 of the summons for a banner, which basically will guarantee almost a free pity just from that event. So definitely a character you want to go for. She is amazing. I highly recommend getting at least one copy of her. And then after that, you definitely want to try to get her sigil, because this will be super, super powerful in the early game for you. Next thing I want to talk about is to not completely underrate SR characters. My last video on Anchor Panic had me talking about the 5 best ones, if you want to check that out. But just to keep things short, there's a lot of really good SR characters in this game. For example, you have Strain, who's like the free-to-play healer you get. She's not the best character, but in the early game, she's perfectly fine. She has single target healing. She also has AoE healing in her energy burst, which is great. Just makes her a very powerful healer. And if you're looking for a good late game investment, that's also very good. You have Antelope, who's an SR character, and she's also amazing because she is just super, super tanky. Gives a shield to everyone and herself, and can also heal them with her one of her talents here. You can see the second talent. Once you do break her through to like level 61, you will be able to actually shield and heal your team, which is amazing. On top of that, SR characters are a lot easier to dupe. So you can see, I have 1-star my Antelope already, and even the R characters are going to be super easy to dupe. The R characters I'll talk about in a separate video, but you will want to build them eventually, because there's an area content right now that's really hard to do without building R characters. And I'll talk about that in a separate video, but for now, just keep in mind, all of the free-to-play characters, not all of them, but a lot of them are very good, and even the R characters you will want to build eventually, which, like I said, I'll talk about in a different video. Now, in terms of farming, which is the next thing I want to talk about, you want to get to 5-6 as fast as possible. The reason why you want to get to 5-6 is because it unlocks the hardest stage for models, which is basically the gear in this game. And before 5-6, the orange models don't actually drop, which are like the highest rarity legendary ones. And you don't really want to farm the purple ones, because even though they're good, models don't really carry you enough in the early game up until 5-6. And also you won't even have enough resources to upgrade them anyways until you start hardcore farming. So because of that, rushing to 5-6 and then farming models to gear up your characters is the way to go. Now until then, if you are struggling, the easiest thing to do is actually focus primarily on EXP, so you want to level up your characters. And then you're also going to want to get some skill upgrades, because skill upgrades on your main DPS especially will be very, very good. If you really want to, you can pit stop for purple models just to have like level 1 set bonuses. It's also a good idea. But like I said, primarily you want to focus on the resource collections, and for promotion train, you want to actually get to your characters to level 60, but not break them through yet except your main DPS that you plan to use in the late game. And the reason for that kind of segues into the next point I want to make. So the only reason why you want to actually only max your DPS, you'll see my roster here. I have 3 characters at level 60, 2 I have broken through past level 60. The reason why is because once you break through past level 60, you'll notice that the reset button disappears. So you only want to do this on characters that you plan to use very, very often in your late game teams. And for that reason, my Karanissa and Echo, 2 of the top tier god tier characters right now, are actually above that level 60 threshold, because I do plan to use them pretty much forever and I will never reset them. The other characters, you'll see they still have the reset button at level 60. If I actually use the breakthrough button here and actually upgrade her, the reset button will disappear and you won't be able to reset anymore. Now, of course, you will want to build a wide roster anyways eventually for a lot of the content, but in the early game when you're just struggling to make that first powerful team to carry you through story, especially to 5-6, you don't really want to do it on anyone except for the reroll character you have, whether it be Echo, Turn, and also like Flicker, or even, what's her name? Forgetting one. Lilira, right? And also like the DPS that you have, like Karanissa. Now, if you don't have Karanissa already and you're really struggling, you can actually use it on another DPS that you have. For example, on the triple banner, if you have like Murloc, she's extremely good. Even like Alice is okay, although I'd probably still leave her at 60 and just, you know, max out your reroll character, your reroll support. But just keep in mind, after level 60, when you break them through, you will not be able to reset them. So you want to focus on just basically funneling the characters that you actually break through. For example, if you get Karanissa early, you want to just funnel everything onto her and she will carry you through until 5-6. Of course, you still want to put gear like some sigils and some models on your characters just as placeholders. You can see I have level 1 on my Ling, which is like a support DPS. But your main DPS, your main carry, the character that you're going to invest fully into, you want to deck them out in pretty much your best gear and stuff like that, and even upgrade their skills as much as you can, because they are going to be your main carry up until 5-6, which is where you can start spreading your resources a bit more. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is daily energy rewards. So basically in this game, if you click the welfare tab in the last option in the login benefits, there's going to be 2 times to claim this erosion or this energy in this game, and you want to make sure that you are claiming both supplies. I don't really know exactly what the times are, so if you can let me know in the comments down below, because I mean, everyone's in a different time zone, but basically these will both open up, and there's actually a time period you can see where you can claim both at the same time. So you definitely want to make sure you do this, because energy in this game is pretty limited, which is pretty frustrating, honestly. But by claiming both, you'll be getting an extra 240 stamina, which is going to be great and pretty much required to progress at a decent rate. And the truly last thing before I actually end this video, actually 2 things, is you want to make sure you join a union. You do get a lot of rewards. You can do Enigmatic Realm and Union Siege when it unlocks, and there's also like this union shop which you can use to actually buy a ton of stuff, which is great. So make sure you join a union, it's very important. You also get a ton of rewards and stuff like that. You can see just by, you know, doing these like preparations, I'm able to get a ton of rewards here. And then the last thing, the very last thing, is Arena. So Arena is going to be separated right now in Advanced Arena and Normal Arena. So Normal Arena is the only thing you can do. You just want to make sure you're using all of your entries. You get 3 a day, and I do believe you get 12 of these a day as well, these arena tickets. So you're basically going to be just spamming into it. Now you will be fighting into simulation datas, which are basically bots, but it doesn't matter. Even if you fight against ones that beat you, you still get this currency, and these currencies, these arena licenses, are extremely important because you will be able to use them for summons and also other materials, which are very important. So make sure you guys don't miss out on your daily arena hits. It's really simple. You just queue in and you can press skip at the top left and it'll sweep it for you. So you just want to make sure you do that. So pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you guys want to see more Anchor Panic commentary and also content, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next video.